Now in 4 News Now at 6, a push to expand the city of Spokane's sit and lie ordinance. Why some say the homeless issue isn't just in downtown anymore.
Say goodbye to the 70s. I'm tracking cooler, breezy weather for Wednesday. I'll show you just how cool it's going to get, plus when temperatures could bounce back in your first alert forecast.
Washington and 13 other states are taking on TikTok, why the attorneys general say the company is putting profits above your child's mental health. You're watching 4 News Now at 6. Well, the City Council has been discussing a change to the current sit and lie ordinance. The current ordinance bans sitting and lying on the sidewalk during certain times of the day. It bans sitting on sidewalk features and sitting in entryways of buildings, parking lots, and loading docks. Right now, this ordinance only applies to the downtown core, but Council member Jonathan Bingle is trying to change that. Madeline Mullins talked to some residents and business owners today about this new ordinance. So what do they have to say, Madeline?
Derek, I spoke with people living in the Browns Addition and Central West neighborhoods, and people in both neighborhoods said that they've had issues with people laying on their sidewalks, behind their garages. If you look behind me, this is Scott Harris's garage, and he has covered it in metal to fireproof it and then painted it in WD-40, hoping that that will just keep people away.
It's not an unreasonable expectation for taxpayers to say, I pay for these sidewalks, I want to be able to use them.
Now, Madeline did ask Councilmember Bingle about available shelter beds that law enforcement would be sending these people to, and he says that there will never be enough shelter beds, and asking taxpayers to pay for enough would be unreasonable. We'll get the rest of that story posted on KXLY.com a little bit later. New details tonight on a Spokane man accused of killing a woman back in 2019. Prosecutors say Jordan Law killed Ray Burwanger between March 3rd and March 5th of 2019. She had only been reported as missing until Law's arrest last month. According to court documents, Law is said to have destroyed evidence during that time period, including a bed and Burwanger's cell phone. Law is also charged with raping a woman twice in the summer of 2019. The indictment does not say what Law's connection is to that woman or how investigators connected him to that assault. We've reached out to the Bonner County Sheriff's Office to fill in some of these blanks. As of right now, we have not heard back. Law is currently being held at the Bonner County Jail and will be back in court on Thursday. All right, let's send it over now to Chief Meteorologist Chris Crocker, who is tracking some cooler weather on the way.
We do have a pretty good drop in temperatures for tomorrow. Beautiful view of downtown right now. Our sunset coming right up in just over 10 minutes, 6:14. 4 things to know about your weather. We have a cold front coming through on Wednesday. It is going to be breezy and cooler with widespread frost on Thursday morning, the coldest morning of the season so far. I'll be talking about that later in the news. And then we head into a gorgeous weekend. Now, tomorrow's highs will be about 10 degrees cooler than today. We'll be in the upper 60s in Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, but these temperatures are still a little bit above our average high, and we'll start off warm. 47 degrees for our morning low with partly cloudy skies. We will be into the mid 60s by the time we're in the noon hour, but we'll also see the clouds increasing throughout the day. Overcast conditions and the winds pick up as well. We could have gusts in the 20 to 25 mile per hour range with sustained winds out of the southwest in excess of 10 miles per hour. And then that drop in temperatures for Thursday morning, the coldest morning of the season by far. I'll let you know how cold it's going to get and delve into that beautiful weekend forecast coming up in just a few minutes. Eric.
All right, Chris, thanks so much. General election ballots will be mailed out starting tomorrow here in Spokane County. In North Spokane, the historical Orchard Prairie School District is asking its community to consider a $6.2 million bond. If approved, this bond would cost taxpayers within the district roughly $221 per $100,000 of assessed property value. Marissa Rio takes us there and shows us what the bond will pay for.
You may have heard of Little House on the Prairie, but have you heard of the Little Schoolhouse on the Prairie?
Grandparents both went to this school when it was just one room, and my father went here when it was 2 rooms and they didn't have any bathrooms. They had outhouses in the back.
Built in 1894, the Orchard Prairie Schoolhouse is one of the oldest continually running schoolhouses in the state.
Yep, it'll be a 31. See right here in the corner how it has a 3 and a 1?
Today, more than 100 years after it was built, students in grade K through 2nd still have class inside. Just across the way is the district's other school building that was built in the 1970s. It serves grades 3 through 7. If the bond passes, the money would be used to replace the 1970s building with an entirely new school.
It'll be one building instead of the 2 buildings, which will give us a single point of access. It will help increase security.
As Caitlin Schuler takes me through the school, she shows me how limited the space is.
Space is so limited here. Right now I'm inside of a classroom, but as you can see tucked away here in the corner behind this collapsible wall is the nurse's office. If the bond were to pass, the district hopes that they'd be able to have designated space for the nurse.
There isn't even room for a front office, just a small desk that sits in the hallway.
We're no longer compliant with the earthquake capabilities of a safe school if an earthquake occurs. We have life safety issues with access.
As for the original 1894 schoolhouse,
Nothing's going to happen to that. We're working on it being put on the historic registry right now.
So even if the bond passes, future generations of kids will still be playing and learning next to a schoolhouse that's reminiscent of the community's historical past. In North Spokane, Marissa Rio, 4 News Now.
Well, several school districts have put bonds and levies on this year's ballot. Just to refresh your memory on the difference between the two, bonds typically fund construction and infrastructure projects, while levies provide funding for day-to-day operations like extracurriculars and nurses. Voters in Coeur d'Alene are being asked to renew a new levy. The Coeur d'Alene School District estimates it would cost taxpayers about $93 per $100,000 of assessed property value. The district warns if it does not pass, they would most likely be forced to lay off support staff, and they could potentially have to cut some sports programs as well. The West Valley School District has also placed a levy on the ballot, while voters in Deer Park and Cheney will vote on separate bonds. To see how much they would cost taxpayers and how much money would be spent, we've put all of the proposed bonds and levies in one place for you. You can find it right now on KXLY.com. All right, still ahead, the candidates for Washington's 5th District and U.S. Senate went head-to-head today here in Spokane, where they stand on key issues that matter most to you, coming up in about 20 minutes. And as Hurricane Milton heads toward Florida, it is raising critical questions about the insurance industry nationwide. What experts say all homeowners should do to prepare for a natural disaster, no matter where you live. That's next on 4 News Now at 6.
Download the KXLY Plus app on your connected TV.
Save your greed!
From the ages of 13 to 15, I experienced childhood sexual abuse, and the abuse ended when I became pregnant. I made the choice to end my pregnancy. In Congress, Dave Reichert voted to ban abortion nationwide. He voted against exceptions. Reichert said as governor, he would work to unravel protection for abortion access here, and I think that is cruel. If Reichert becomes governor, I believe women are in danger. He's wrong for Washington.
It's time for 4 News Now, Coats for Kids. Drop off new or gently used coats at any of our sponsored locations. We'll bring them to Alsco for professional cleaning, then get them out to local children in need. Donate Coats for Kids through October 31st.
Fred's Appliance is proud to partner with Coats for Kids, and we're giving you a chance to give back and win big. When you donate your coats, you'll be entered for a chance to win a beautiful Electrolux laundry set. You can drop off your coats at any of our Fred's Appliance locations.
So, boss man, what are we doing today?
Oh, just annual maintenance.
Annual maintenance?
Yeah, the yearly tune-up to keep the heating and cooling stuff running. Wait, you do get tune-ups on your HVAC equipment, right?
Any chance you can come by my house after this and check out my system?
Right now, get your annual maintenance for only $89 from Bill's Heating and AC. Call today.
Are you ready to stay for less and play for more? The Kootenai Casino has low room rates and our most exciting gaming yet. Book now to get your deluxe room at the Kootenai Falls Lodge for just $99 every midweek night in October. And join us for October Hot Spins, Weekend Super Spins, and catch the game Monday nights. Win big in October. Book your getaway at the Kootenai Casino today. Call 888-YOU-ARE-LUCKY or visit KootenaiRiverInn.com.
I just wanna have fun, clap my hands, turn around now and dance, dance, dance. I just wanna clap, clap, turn around, dance, dance. I just wanna clap, clap, turn around, dance, dance. I just wanna clap, clap, turn around, dance, dance. I just wanna clap, clap, turn around, dance, dance. I just wanna have fun, turn around.
Find fall fashion and a whole lot more at River Park Square.
Grab my phone real quick.
Oh boy, as you can see, it was a bumpy ride for these weather experts as they flew through Hurricane Milton, which is barreling toward Florida. The reason they're flying through it is to collect data to improve forecast predictions and support hurricane research. The hurricane is expected to create a 12-foot storm surge. Here's how officials describe how dangerous these water levels are.
Say you're in a single-story home, 12 feet is above that house. So if you're in it, basically that's the coffin that you're in.
Hurricane Milton comes on the heels of Hurricane Helene that tore through the southeast just days ago. And both of these storms are putting a spotlight on the insurance industry. Experts say the most crucial time for homeowners to review their coverage is before disaster strikes. CNN's Karen Kafa explains what homeowners need to know.
More frequent, more intense natural disasters are prompting changes in the insurance industry. And with insurance companies keeping up with the times, consumer experts say that homeowners should too. Parts of the southeastern United States haven't recovered from Hurricane Helene. And now, here comes Milton.
This could be the worst storm to hit Florida in over a century.
It's a reminder to regularly review home, renters, and auto insurance policies and note what may have changed.
Not just mold, not just water, but deductibles. There's even hail limits. So at least give yourself a fighting chance by knowing where those gaps are.
The insurance industry has been hit in recent years by more frequent disasters and inflation. That's led to a jump in homeowners insurance rates, 11.3% last year, according to S&P Global. And Amy Bach, executive director of United Policyholders, says insurance companies are using more defined technology to assess risk.
Aerial images, data mining, predictive models. And all that technology means that they have been fine-tuning the wording in their policies.
Bach says when disaster does strike, document as much damage as is safe to do so and keep a daily journal of recovery steps.
Who you talk to, what their phone number is, what their email is, what, just notes to kind of keep yourself on track.
Home buyers can also keep natural disasters in mind before signing the dotted line. A new tool from the home shopping website Zillow shows how vulnerable properties for sale might be to extreme climate events with data on flooding, wildfires, wind, heat, and air quality. The industry's Insurance Information Institute also notes that most standard homeowners policies will include some living expenses away from home in the event a property is damaged by a natural disaster. It's another important reason to review a policy as part of preparedness. In Washington, I'm Karen Kafa.
And as the Gulf Coast braces for Hurricane Milton, the Red Cross is hosting multiple blood drives across the inland Northwest to help replenish the supply that was lost in Hurricane Helene. Anyone who donates blood this month will receive a $10 Amazon gift card and be automatically entered for a chance to win a $5,000 gift card. To find the blood drive closest to you, look for this story on KXLY.com.
Our high today in Spokane, almost 15 degrees above average, 77 degrees. Our sunrise now in the 7 o'clock hour. I'll be back with some cooler weather in this 7-day forecast after the break.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
4 News Now is brought to you by the Coeur d'Alene Convention and Visitors Bureau.
It's the Planet Fitness Strong Choice Sale. Why pay more for the same weights at other gyms when you can save tons at Planet Fitness? Save $28 or more when you join today for just $1 down, $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends October 10th. Planet Fitness, Strong Choice.
Clog drains are a huge problem and can cost thousands. With Mainstream, you can prevent clogs before they happen. There's no better time than now to call Mainstream and ask about our 83 or it's free drain clearing special. For just $83, we'll send a technician to your home to clear your drain. And if for some reason we can't get it, it's free. With over 20 years of experience, the expert technicians at Mainstream can restore the flow. Call Mainstream today or visit us at mainstreamhomeservices.com to take advantage of this limited time deal.
When I was told I needed radiation treatment for a brain tumor, I couldn't stop thinking about what could happen to my memories. Those moments I cherish from growing up, of finding myself, of the people I love, of what I've created. Could they all just fade away? But when I learned how precise treatment was with Gamma Knife, I was reassured that those moments would be preserved. Because it's not only about protecting the memories I've made, but the ones I have yet to create.
Hello, I'm Mark Peterson. It's that time of year again when Washington Trust Bank helps you dispose of your sensitive documents and protect your identity with 4 easy steps. First, drive to one of their 6 participating drive-through locations. Second, fill your seal and shred bag with the documents that you want to destroy. Third, secure the seal and shred bag. Then drop off your bag of debris where they will destroy your documents in their secure space. Shred Day is Friday, October 18th from 9 to 5. Pick up your seal and shred bag at one of their 6 participating locations.
This holiday season, believe in the magic of the North Pole. As you set sail for a holiday adventure like no other, marvel over the stunning light display along the magical journey to meet Santa. Experience the magic that only happens on Lake Coeur d'Alene. Even the Grinch can't resist the holiday cheer. Book during Santa's Sneak Peek Week and enjoy 25% off tickets from November 15th to November 27th and discover the magic of the holiday season.
All right, welcome back. Chief Meteorologist Chris Crocker is here now. And Chris, we've been talking about it. Fall's finally going to start feeling a little more like fall.
Especially, yes, some very cool overnight lows in the forecast. Take a look at your current temperatures where it does not feel like fall. It's 73 degrees right now in Spokane. The sunset 2 minutes ago, 70 right now in Coeur d'Alene. Beautiful sky there looking over the Veterans Memorial Bridge on I-90. Here is our overnight low temperature trend over the next 7 days. We're going to be well above average for our highs. Our overnight lows are a little bit of a different story. Now, tomorrow morning, 47 for a morning low, quite mild, but we have a cold front coming through during the day on Wednesday. Then our skies clear, our winds die down, and we are bottoming out at 30. So far this season in Spokane, our coldest overnight low has been 35 degrees. Clearly, we've been well below that in the outlying areas. So we are looking at deep into the 20s in some locations. And then we start warming right back up again, but just a hair above average through the 7-day forecast. Again, our daytime highs are going to be a little more dramatic. With that cold front coming through, our winds will be picking up, but not for long. We'll start off fairly calm by about 2, 3 o'clock. Here's 4 o'clock, actually. You can see wind gusts in the 20 to 25 mile per hour range in parts of eastern Washington, in the 15 to 20 mile per hour range in North Idaho, and then they die right down as we get into the evening. A closer look at 3 o'clock wind gusts in the Spokane area, 20 to 25 mile per hour gusts, and we'll be in that 15, close to 20 mile per hour range around Coeur d'Alene. So just a little bit of a breeze, and we are going to have a fair amount of clouds. By 5 o'clock tomorrow, that cold front is going to be off to the east. High pressure will begin building back in with clearing skies, light winds, high pressure. We'll have one really cold night, and then the warming trend will start again. Here's Thursday at 5. Beautiful fall weather ahead in the forecast. Let's take a look at your planning forecast. Breezy tomorrow, and we will have the clouds with that cold front. 68 for a high, 64 on Thursday after that morning low of 30 with widespread frost and a hard freeze for many people. And then we are back in the 70s Saturday and Sunday. Keeping in mind by the weekend, our average high is going to be right around 60 degrees. So we're 10 degrees above average. In fact, early next week, our average high is in the 50s. So So the 70s are definitely not what we would expect this time of year. In the next half hour, I'm going to give you the very latest on Hurricane Milton, Derek.
All right, Chris, thank you. Well, let's try this again from earlier in the newscast. The City Council has been discussing a change to the current sit-and-lie ordinance. Our Madeline Mullins explains.
It's a challenge.
A challenge is what was expressed when Scott Harris was asked how he feels about homeless people hanging out on his sidewalk. Councilmember Bingle says he wants to fix that.
That is not an unreasonable expectation for taxpayers to say, I pay for these sidewalks, I want to be able to use them.
Councilmember Bingle wants to change the current sit and lie ordinance.
It expands the law citywide, removes any reference to shelter bed availability, and also removes any time restrictions.
Bingle says that this problem is not just the downtown, but citywide.
And they occasionally will conjugate or find a camp spot back there. Some of my neighbors have had to go to some extremes to discourage them from that.
Bingle says that this ordinance is not just to send the police out to start arresting people.
But it is something the police need when there is a problem individual that they cannot remove. And our current code makes it very difficult for people to move them. And
Bingle says that this tool will allow police to send people to other places to get them off of the streets, places like shelters or drug and mental health court.
Now, Madeline did ask Councilmember Bingle about available shelter beds that law enforcement would be sending these people to, and he says there will never be enough shelter beds, so asking taxpayers to pay for enough would be unreasonable. Well, 12 states, including Washington, are now suing TikTok, claiming the platform is harming the mental health of our young people. The lawsuit wants to put a stop to what the states call exploitative tactics. ABC's Melissa Adon explains.
Social media platform TikTok sued on Tuesday by 14 states, saying harmful effects of its platform are, quote, wreaking havoc on the mental health of millions of American children and teenagers. More than a dozen states from California to New York are part of the lawsuit.
Because we wanted to protect children. It's as simple as that. Because nationwide, children and teens are struggling with significantly high rates of depression, anxiety, suicidal thoughts, suicidal ideation, and other mental health issues, largely because of social media.
The lawsuit taking aim at TikTok's algorithms, calling them addictive, resulting in teens and kids to stay online for longer periods of time, which the lawsuits allege leads to mental health damage.
I think the algorithm can be seen as addictive because it's feeding back what you're looking for. Every time you scroll, you see a video that you like. The longer that you stay on that video, the more interest you show, the more likely you're going to see more videos like that.
Incidents like one in New York, just an example of the influence of social media. In New York, a 15-year-old boy died after subway surfing last year. The suit calling out this incident where videos were found on the teen's social media account promoting subway surfing in a challenge.
Social media and MTA, they failed my son.
ABC News medical correspondent Dr. Darian Sutton recommends parents set up guidelines to make sure their children understand the dangers.
General recommendations from the American Academy of Pediatrics. For example, children under 2 should have no screen time. Between 2 and 5, no more than 2 hours of screen time that is monitored by an adult. And then above the age of 5, for all of us, no more than 2 hours of screen time.
In a statement, TikTok responding to the lawsuit, saying for the past 2 years, they've been trying to work with the attorneys general to find constructive solutions to industry-wide challenges. The social media company goes on to say they are committed to the work they're doing to protect teens and improve their product. Melissa Adon, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Well, still ahead, a case involving ghost guns is now in front of the Supreme Court. Why gunmakers say the federal government overstepped by requiring these types of guns to include serial numbers.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
We're not brother and sister.
We're not husband and wife.
She's not my daughter.
He's not just arm candy.
Hey.
What we are, we're advocates.
And so if you've been injured, we fight for you.
You deserve more than just a law firm.
You deserve an advocate.
I just turned 37 and I found a lump. By the time that I had it checked out and was able to get in and see a doctor and all that, I was at stage 3. Part of the reason I think that I didn't go get it checked out right away is that I was really scared. When I got the call, it was gone. It was such a huge relief. Even if you don't feel that it's in you, that you have a lump or you have a reason to get checked, you are a woman, get checked.
I spent my career in law enforcement, the last years as police chief. When it comes to keeping Washington safe, I trust Bob Ferguson.
Bob's top priority is public safety. His plan to hire more police officers is exactly what we need.
He'll create a statewide response unit to tackle the fentanyl crisis.
And he'll put the $1 billion he won from drug companies into treatment.
To help us protect Washington,
I trust Bob Ferguson.
Bob Ferguson for governor.
Dear Unleashed. No one knows the feeling of freedom quite the way you do. But damned if we don't come really, really close. Let's break the chain. Yours, Tundra.
Right now, you can lease a new 2024 Tundra for just $469 per month. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota. Let's go places.
When it comes to remodeling your bath, there's fact and there's fiction. Fiction. Some bath remodels just cover up water damage. Fact. Bathfitter inspects and cleans your current tub area, and we make any necessary repairs before installing our product for a watertight fit. Bathfitter installations are built to last, with a lifetime warranty to fit your expectations. Get the bath that fits you. Bathfitter. It just fits. Go to bathfitter.com to book your free consultation.
Donnie, the advocates excel in car, truck, and motorcycle cases, resulting in millions of dollars for our clients.
That makes me sad.
Sad? Why sad?
Just thinking about the ones that don't bring their cases to us.
Oh, that is sad.
4 News Now is brought to you by UFCW Local 3000.
Well, around the nation, the Supreme Court is hearing oral arguments in a major case on ghost guns. They're guns usually sold in parts online that can be self-assembled with no serial numbers, making them difficult to trace. ABC's Perry Russum has more.
Today, the Supreme Court hearing arguments on regulations to ghost guns, virtually untraceable guns sold in parts online with no serial numbers.
But nothing in Congress's use of the term weapon suggests that it has to presently be functional as an instrument of combat in order to qualify.
According to the ATF, the number of ghost guns recovered by police skyrocketed, up more than 1,000% from 2017 to 2021. The case in front of the High Court centers around a 2022 executive action by President Biden, requiring companies to add serial numbers to ghost guns, run background checks on buyers, and verify buyers are at least 21 years old.
Since this rule has taken effect in 2022, and under other pressure brought to bear on the industry, including some lawsuits that we were involved in and other actions, we've actually seen the number of ghost gun recoveries at crime scenes start to come down.
Gun part makers and gun rights groups challenging Biden's executive action, arguing the rule exceeds ATF's authority, as weapons kits do not meet the definition of a firearm under the law.
Just like some individuals enjoy working on their car every weekend, some individuals want to construct their own firearms.
Cody Wilson is one of the largest manufacturers of gun parts kits.
We don't sell firearms, right? So my company will never have a federal firearms license and therefore will never perform the NICS background check.
The Supreme Court could make a ruling on this case by early next year. Perry Russum, ABC News, Washington.
Plus, the Latah County Commissioners met today to discuss the future of the county jail, which isn't up to fire code. I'll explain after the break what they decided to do with the failing jail.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
The Tire Store for winter tires with no credit hassles. At the Tire Store, they'll let you split up your repair bill over a couple months. Get your car fixed today. ASC certified, start an account with no credit check. Tire Store.
Custom is more than choosing from a few fabric options. With True Custom Upholstery by Bassett, you get control over almost every detail, so you can design a sofa that's perfect for you. From the style of the arms and legs to the cushion and pillow shape. Perfect style, perfect comfort, created for you. Get 30% off Bassett Custom Upholstery at the Tin Roof for a limited time only.
I had surgery as a child that I barely remember. But decades later, the insurance company called that a pre-existing condition and denied me long-term care insurance. Washington State created a long-term care benefit to help millions of people like me afford the care we need. But I-2124 will take that benefit away, leaving millions with no way to get or afford long-term care. If it can happen to me, it can happen to anybody. That's why we all have to vote no on I-2124.
Do you like this one? I think this is my favorite. Okay, hon, what do you think of this one?
When it's time for an update or complete remodel, Rebath is with you every step of the way.
Wow, is this going to be ready in time for the baby?
Absolutely. From design and products to removal and installation, we handle the entire process to create a beautiful and functional bathroom for whatever your life needs. Rebath, with you every step of the way. Call us or visit rebath.com and save $750 off your tub or shower remodel.
I'm a real wild one. Once in a while, we all want to go wild. We just need a little help. Meet a little help. The 2024 Ford Bronco Sport Wild Edition goes over any terrain, so you can go all out. Get a wild deal on a Bronco Sport today. Get a 24 Bronco Sport Wild Edition, starting as low as $28,645, or lease for just $369 a month for 36 months.
The Tire Store for auto repairs, tires, and wheels. At the Tire Store, they'll let you split up your repair bill over a couple months. Get your car fixed today. ASC certified, and you can start an account with no credit check. Tire Store.
Live from downtown Spokane, this is 4 News Now at 6:30.
Welcome back. The Latah County Sheriff's Office says its jail is failing as it continues to not pass fire or jail inspection. Latah County commissioners are now discussing the matter publicly today for the very first time. Our Hunter Bertram was at the meeting today in Moscow.
So it's just money. Just time and money, right?
Said Latah County Sheriff Richard Skiles to county commissioners Tuesday.
How does it get funded?
Asked Commissioner Tom Lamar a question on everyone's mind. Right now, the Latah County Jail is failing. Fire inspection shows egress issues with emergency exits and jail cell doors, and the suppression system also isn't up to code. The sewage system is also failing.
And it doesn't seem like we're at the place right now where we can keep this going.
Which the Sheriff's Department agrees.
And the Latah County Jail is located in the basement of the Latah County Courthouse, which was built in 1972. And the Sheriff's Department's worried that if nothing's done soon, it could become a major liability for the county.
So multiple solutions are being put forward. A new law enforcement facility is estimated to cost $30 to $40 million. Repairing the jail would cost a few $1,000,000. And finally, the thought of regionalizing the jail, which would possibly send inmates to Nez Perce County, a newer facility that is up to code.
Right now, I can house at Nez Perce County for $75.
But that's not including the cost of gas for bringing inmates to court in Latah County or hiring deputies to transport them. In all, any solution to the failing jail will cost money, but who's expected to pay? During the commissioner meeting with the sheriff's office, they discussed bringing it to the community through a bond or a sales tax, or by taking it to the state legislature to change how jails are funded, which may cost you more money in Latah County. For now, Latah County inmates will be displaced in the near future as a solution is worked out. In Moscow, Hunter Bertram, 4 News Now.
Well, you may want to turn on the heat this week if you haven't already. Chief Meteorologist Chris Crocker is tracking some cold nights ahead.
Yes, especially tomorrow night into Thursday morning. 4 things to know about your weather. We have a cold front coming through tomorrow. It is going to bring breezy and cooler conditions as well as some clouds. We have a frost and freeze widespread across the region on Thursday morning. Temperatures getting to the lowest reading of the season so far, by far. And then a nice weekend. We're back up into the 70s. Satellite right now, we have some clouds moving through. Expect those clouds to increase overnight, and that's going to help keep our temperatures a little bit warmer overnight. Today, temperatures in the 70s in Spokane and Coeur d'Alene. These readings almost 15 degrees above average. It was in the 80s in Lewiston, 76 in Ritzville, 79 in Omak. We'll start the day off tomorrow in the 40s in most locations, even some 50s in Grand Coulee and Kellogg, 54 in Lewiston. Only Winthrop and Colville getting down into the 30s. And we we'll have a lot more 30s and 20s on the map as we get into tomorrow night. Wednesday's highs, meanwhile, will be above average, but a 10-degree drop from today in the upper 60s in Spokane, Coeur d'Alene, Moscow, and Pullman, 78 in Lewiston, 69 in Ritzville. It is going to be a bit breezy in the afternoon, wind gusts up to 25 miles per hour, and cloudy with the chance of showers only over the Cascades and the very top of the Selkirks. I will be back with your 7-day forecast and an update on Hurricane Milton in just a few minutes. Derek?
Chris, thank you so much. We continue our For the People coverage tonight. And just within the last hour, the candidates for Washington's 5th District, Carmela Conroy and Michael Baumgartner, finished going head-to-head in a debate here in Spokane. They're both looking to replace longtime Eastern Washington Representative Kathy McMorris Rodgers. One issue discussed was how they would deal with growing student debt crisis. Baumgartner saying he's opposed to wiping out debt, but says something needs to be done about the price of tuition.
College tuition should be priced at a level that doesn't require anyone to go into debt. It should be at the price that you can work a summer job and do some part-time work during the year and afford college.
Now, Conroy says one possible solution is to make sure federal funds go to accredited schools.
We've got terrible diploma mills like the former Trump University that would pick students' pockets just as long as they could afford to keep getting loans, instead of places like Washington State University or Gonzaga University.
In the race for U.S. Senate, incumbent Maria Cantwell and Dr. Raul Garcia also debated today at Gonzaga. One major topic was the economy, with Dr. Garcia saying the Inflation Reduction Act is hurting Washingtonians.
Washingtonians are unfortunately paying so many more taxes to the pot for the Inflation Reduction Act and getting back little. This is what we have today. We need change.
Senator Cantwell firing back, though.
Well, the Inflation Reduction Act was paid for, and it actually did reduce costs. And the question is, if you buy at Costco, do you get a discount? That's what we ensured for taxpayers.
Now, another major topic was how they would address the opioid and homeless crisis. We'll have more from both of these debates tonight on Nightside, coming up at 11 o'clock. In Idaho, voters will decide the fate of how primaries are being held in the state. It's called Proposition 1, and it's one of the most controversial initiatives on the ballot. Idaho currently operates a closed party primary, meaning voters can only vote for the political party they're affiliated with. Essentially, a registered Republican voter could not cast a vote for a Democratic candidate or vice versa. Prop 1 would replace this system with an open primary format, meaning you can vote for anyone. It would also make it so the 4 candidates with the most votes would advance to the general election. Our Allison Martinez will explain why some say this change is necessary, while others think it could harm Idaho's election system tomorrow on Good Morning Northwest, starting at 5 a.m. Well, the Spokane Fire Department is releasing new data on overdoses that might contradict other reports you've seen on social media. But the department says the numbers don't tell the full story. Derek Strom is in downtown Spokane right now after speaking to Spokane Fire about what it's seeing. Derek.
Derek, Spokane Fire says it did see a decrease in the amount of people it treated with Narcan over the past few months. It says that those short-term trends can change very quickly, especially when it comes to overdoses.
Overdose statistics can be, they're problematic to track from the beginning.
Spokane Fire's latest overdose numbers show the department gave out Narcan to 84 patients in September alone, and 45 patients were transferred to the hospital for overdoses. From July to September, it treated just under 200 people with Narcan, which was down from around 250 the previous quarter. But the department says it's difficult to tell whether those numbers truly reflect the amount of overdoses happening in Spokane.
Like our fentanyl-related overdoses, they will come in as a cardiac arrest a lot of times. And so it'll get dispatched as that, but in fact, it's actually a drug, usually fentanyl overdose.
Reuters says fentanyl overdoses are by far the most common type of overdose his department deals with. He says those overdoses typically require multiple doses of Narcan to treat. Most of the overdoses are also concentrated in the downtown area.
Overall, we're seeing it doesn't seem to be getting better. It's hard to say if it's getting worse. We seem to be kind of maintaining, maybe getting a little worse, but it's difficult to tell.
De Reuters says Spokane Fire is looking to expand its behavioral response unit, which has Suboxone that's used to reduce the symptoms of withdrawals. He hopes that having that team more available will help get more people to treatment locally. Spokane Fire also works with other fire and law enforcement agencies to compare data and get a better picture of how overdoses are affecting this community. And according to the department's data, the amount of people treated with Narcan is still on the rise overall over the last 7 years. Live in downtown Spokane, Derek Strom, 4 News Now.
All right, thank you, Derek. Well, listen up, drivers. Construction on Spokane Street in Post Falls is about to enter its next phase. The northbound lanes are now back open, but now the southbound lanes are under construction. Drivers should follow the detour around it on either McReynolds Drive or Henry Street. Then tomorrow, asphalt work starts on Spokane Street from I-90 to Celtice Way. There will be intermittent lane closures and a temporary closure of the eastbound I-90 off-ramp. The city wants to remind you that you can still support the businesses that will stay open during the construction. All right, WSU is looking to bounce back after the bye week.
Yeah, the Cougars had that forgettable performance, that ugly loss to Boise State. Jake Dickert promised to get them right. We hear from the team in the next edition of Chalk Talk, next in sports.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
4 News Now is brought to you by Washington Trust Bank Shred Day.
The doctor will see you now. But do they really? Do they see all that you are? At Kaiser Permanente, all of us work together to care for all that is you. Kaiser Permanente.
It's RAV4 season at Findlay Downtown Toyota. And that means some of the biggest savings of the year, with great financing and incredible lease options, as we clear out all 2024 models this week at Findlay.
So, boss man, what are we doing today?
Oh, just annual maintenance.
Annual maintenance?
Yeah, the yearly tune-up to keep the heating and cooling stuff running. Wait, you do get tune-ups on your HVAC equipment, right?
Totally unrelated, but can you come by my house after this and maybe check out my system?
From the ages of 13 to 15, I experienced childhood sexual abuse, and the abuse ended when I became pregnant. I made the choice to end my pregnancy. In Congress, Dave Reichert voted to ban abortion nationwide. He voted against exceptions. Reichert said as governor, he would work to unravel protection for abortion access here, and I think that is cruel. If Reichert becomes governor, I believe women are in danger. He's wrong for Washington.
One thing that I think is cool about Move Fitness is that everyone that walks through our doors comes for a different reason.
For some people, it's the best part of their day.
It's kind of hard to explain. You almost have to experience it.
From the moment you walk in,
from the energetic music, the smiles, and the high fives.
It's just a great, positive place to work out.
And you get it all for about $1 a day.
Join the movement.
Everyone's got to move, right?
Imagine trying to vote and not understanding your ballot. It's a reality for many people in Washington.
People were not voting because there are barriers to voting.
But one local organization is changing that reality.
I am very excited. My vote is gonna count as well.
What it's doing to make sure every voter has the information they need, even when English isn't their first language.
It has made me understand quite well.
Thursday on 4 News Now at 6. All right, welcome back. Tens of thousands of people have voted in this year's Fat Bear Week contest, and it's time to announce this year's Titan of Tonnage. Just to remind you, Fat Bear Week is meant to celebrate the bears at Katmai National Park in Alaska as they pack on the pounds for the winter.
All right, let's take a look at the finalists. Meet Chunk. This photo was taken in late June. According to wildlife experts, he is a friendly bear and can be often seen playing with other bears. He would also wait patiently to scavenge leftover salmon. I like his style, but he is no slouch. Here is a photo of him now, bulk season. He's much larger, ready to take on whatever Mother Nature wants to throw at him come winter.
All right, and he is going head-to-head, or should we say belly-to-belly, against the reigning champ, Grazer. here she is in mid-July doing some fishing along the Brook River. The National Park Service says that's her go-to spot to get a bite to eat. And here she is now, all big and fluffy and ready to protect herself from anything that gets thrown her way. All right, so Julian, do you have a favorite between the two here?
I got all my honey on Chunk. All my honey on Chunk for the winner.
All right, so the time has come. This year's winner is Grazer. She is this year's chubby champion. Julian just lost his whole paycheck. As the winner, she will get absolutely nothing, of course, since she has no idea any of this is even happening. But we hope Grazer and all the other bears at Katmai National Park get some much-needed rest for the winter. Julian.
Eating good. Now, from Bears to Cougars, Washington State needed to do a lot of soul searching during the bye week. They're coming off an ugly performance against Boise State that resulted in the first loss of the season. Sydney Berger caught up with the guys today, and they're re-energized and refocused to take on Fresno State in this week's Chalk Talk.
During the bye week, Coach Jake Dickert had a laundry list of things that he wanted to address after Washington State's first loss of the season. And I asked Coach, what was the first and most crucial thing he had to fix before the next game? And his answer came without any hesitation.
Defensive communication. I mean, we cannot be on the field and not communicate with each other.
The players agree. The lack of communication was one of their biggest downfalls.
We had a few communication errors in that Boise game, and it led to some big plays for Boise, but we focused on that during the bye week. We're focusing on that during this week, and we're going to get that cleaned up for Fresno.
And how they're fixing it.
Talking more in practice, getting our calls out more in practice, and just practicing the communication.
Well, practice makes perfect, and at least at practice, you could already hear a difference. But Dickert says there were several layers to the failure of a defensive performance against Boise, and that it's time to get back to the basics.
It was technique, it was finish, it was a little bit of effort, which was extremely disappointing.
So Dickert identified communication and effort problems, but there was another glaring issue to tackle.
We have to be able to get after the quarterback.
Through 5 games, Washington State has only recorded 5 sacks. That's not enough for Coach Dickert, but with 10 days of preparation, he feels the Cougs are re-energized and are ready to play their best football yet.
I'd be probably lying if I didn't say we don't have a bad taste in our mouth and want to get back out there and show the team that we know that we can be.
Well, in their last 20 home games, Fresno State has only lost 3 on their own turf. So while the Bulldogs have proved to be a great team at home, Washington State needs to prove they're a great team on the road. Kickoff is at 4 o'clock this Saturday in Fresno. Reporting in Pullman, Sydney Berger, 4 News Now Sports.
All right, thank you, Sydney. Now, the Seattle Kraken are starting a new chapter as a franchise. They have a new head coach in Dan Bylsma and a newfound mentality to get back to the playoffs after missing out last year. They were hoping to get off on the right skate in their season opener against the St. Louis Blues. The Kraken also made history with Jessica Campbell, the first female assistant coach in NHL history. And Coach Campbell has to like this. Second period, Vince Dunn. If at first you don't succeed, well, you dust yourself off and try again. The rebound and the score for Dunn as the Kraken strike first. Moving on, still in the second period, Ellie Tolvanen. Check this out right here. Right place, right time as it ricochets off Tolvanen into the net as Seattle is in business up 2 scores. Now, still in the second period, this time it's the Blues on the power play, and they take full advantage. Jordan Kyrou gets St. Louis on the board. Now, they say the most dangerous lead in hockey is a 2-goal lead, and the Blues prove that to be right today. Philip Broberg. Right here, the one-timer, going to tie things up at 2. And after this goal, things would just go from bad to worse for Seattle. Later in the contest, it's going to be Kyrou again, and this was the backbreaker right here for the Kraken. Seattle gives up the early lead as they fall 3-2. Now they'll hit the road to take on the Minnesota Wild in game number 2 of the season on Saturday. That'll wrap us up for sports. We'll be right back.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
I think this is my favorite. Okay. Hun, what do you think of this one? From design and products to removal and installation, Rebath is with you through every step of your remodel. Call us or visit rebath.com and save $750 off your tub or shower remodel.
My credit score is more than just a number. It's my future. P1FCU knows how important it is too, which is why it's so easy to check your score every time you check your online banking. It's a piece of cake. Plus, it doesn't just let you check your score, it gives you recommendations on how to improve it. It also shows you how different things could be affecting your score.
Open your P1FCU checking account at p1fcu.org and start earning today.
Coeur d'Alene Denture Clinic is locally owned and operated and has been providing personalized, comfortable, and satisfying care to our clients for over 30 years. Our licensed denturists are trained in the latest techniques in the construction, development, and preparatory work of a denture. Full dentures, implant attachments, repairs, fittings, adjustments, we do it all. Every denture is made to look as close as possible to your natural teeth. With our knowledge and friendly staff, competitive costs, and quality of service, you'll leave Coeur d'Alene Denture Clinic smiling.
North Idaho Urology, in partnership with Cancer Care Northwest, we specialize in advanced prostate cancer care.
I'm Dr. Aaron Wagner. I'm a radiation oncologist with Cancer Care Northwest. We have quite a few different treatment options for prostate cancer, ranging anywhere from standard radiation and IMRT approaches to SBRT to brachytherapy, a full spectrum of different prostate cancer treatments. We very much try to individualize their treatment plan for them.
With Chevy trucks, be ready for adventure. With power you can count on. Capability that doesn't compromise. A hard-working EV with more range than any competitor and the potential to take you anywhere. It's Chevy truck season. Get 0% financing plus make no monthly payments for 90 days on all 2024 Silverado 1500 pickups. Chevrolet, together let's drive.
So what do you think about these?
We're going to take everything. From design and products to removal and installation, Rebath is with you through every step of your remodel. Call us or visit rebath.com and save $750 off your tub or shower remodel.
4 News Now is brought to you by Mainstream Electric Heating, Cooling, Plumbing.
All right, welcome back. On your screen, coming up here, is video of Hurricane Milton, taken from the International Space Station this morning. If we can show that to you.
I want to see that.
Unfortunately, we can't show you how massive it is, but as we've been talking about, Chris, it's heading straight towards that western coast of Florida.
Yes, and it is still a little ways away, more than 24 hours away. I'll show you the view from space. It's not quite as exciting as the International Space Station, but I have one from the satellite here. If we can take my weather graphics. We have to throw to break, Derek.
We've got some technical difficulties. We'll be right back.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
Next, E.T. Christopher Reeve through the eyes of his children.
Everything he did fully as himself.
Plus, sorry, Mark Paul.
People say he's good looking.
Next, watch 4 News Now at 6 and Entertainment Tonight at 7:30.
Our 2-night spectacular continues.
Let's go! It's Hair Metal Night with a double elimination.
We all love having a rock and roll, don't we?
Hair Metal Night on Dancing with the Stars live tonight.
It's fall and the games are on. Get out and support your local teams. Here's this week's schedule.
Here we go. EWU.
Here we go now. Here we go. Here we go.
Gonzaga.
Now. Here we go. Here we go now.
Who am I?
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
WSU.
Here we go now. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Whitworth.
Now. Here we go. Here we go now. Game On is proudly brought to you by BECU.
Mainstream has proudly served Greater Spokane and Northern Idaho for over 20 years, offering reliable and high-quality home services. Our exceptional team is committed to delivering trusted plumbing, heating, cooling, and electrical solutions that ensure the comfort and safety of your home. Our goal is to provide the best experience possible when it comes to repairing, maintaining, or installing systems that make your home a more comfortable place to live. Because we are home services, we are Mainstream.
When I was told I needed radiation treatment for a brain tumor, I couldn't stop thinking about what could happen to my memories. Those moments I cherish from growing up, of finding myself, of the people I love, of what I've created. Could they all just fade away? But when I learned how precise treatment was with Gamma Knife, I was reassured that those moments would be preserved. Because it's not only about protecting the memories I've made, but the ones I have yet to create.
Dupixent can help people with asthma breathe better in as little as 2 weeks. So this is better, even this. Dupixent is an add-on treatment for specific types of moderate to severe asthma that's not for sudden breathing problems. Dupixent can cause allergic reactions that can be severe. Tell your doctor right away if you have rash, chest pain, worsening shortness of breath, tingling, or numbness in your limbs. Tell your doctor about new or worsening joint aches and pain or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop asthma medicines, including steroids, without talking to your doctor. Ask your specialist about Dupixent.
4 News Now is brought to you by Walker's Furniture.
All right, take 2 here. On your screen right now is video of Hurricane Milton taken from the International Space Station just this morning. You can see just how massive it is, and it is heading straight for Western Florida. Chief Meteorologist Chris Crocker joins us now. And Chris, you've been tracking Milton all day, so what kind of wind speeds can we expect as it makes landfall tomorrow?
Well, it is going to weaken a little bit by the time it makes landfall, but we are still talking about a major hurricane with deep storm surge, in fact, historic storm surge, one of the most deadly aspects of the hurricane. Let me show you my view from space. It's not quite as beautiful, but this is current, takes us up to the current time as it moves away from Mexico and right toward Florida. This is the latest on Milton. It is still a Category 5 storm. Right now, 165 mile per hour sustained winds with higher gusts. It's moving to the east-northeast, not very fast, 10 miles per hour, with a central pressure of 902 millibars. That is actually a little bit weaker than it was yesterday when it made history as one of the strongest hurricanes on record in the Atlantic basin. So this is its current forecast by 11 o'clock tomorrow morning. And these times, by the way, are Pacific time. And so you know what time it will be hitting this time, not when your friends and family are experiencing it. So about 11 o'clock tomorrow night, our time, is when it's expected to make landfall somewhere there near Tampa Bay and then cross the Florida Peninsula still as a hurricane and then head back out into the Atlantic. So you may hear, it'll be Wednesday night here, you may hear making landfall Thursday morning. It's that time difference. Getting back to that central pressure of 902 millibars, that does make it the 5th strongest, or yesterday's central pressure of 897 made it the 5th strongest hurricane in the Atlantic basin on record, behind Wilma, the strongest one in 2005, Gilbert number 2 in 1988, the Labor Day hurricane before they started naming them back in 1935, and Rita also in 2005. On our satellite, we just have a few clouds drifting through. We're going to see those increase, which will keep our temperatures a little bit warmer overnight tonight, and those will continue to increase as our cold front approaches tomorrow. Expect a cloudy afternoon. Nothing coming out of those clouds. Our temperatures are going to drop. We were at 77 for a high today. We'll be down to 68, but here's our average high. Cooler Thursday, then we start warming back up again. Look at our weekend. This is our average high way down here, which will be in the 50s by this time next week. Long-range forecast is still calling for above average temperatures through October 22nd and possibility of above average precipitation. The only rain on our forecast is heading in to that 8 to 14 day Tuesday, a chance of showers and a 30% chance. Want to just point out this very cold overnight low Wednesday night into Thursday, 30 degrees, widespread frost and hard freeze around the region before those temperatures begin to moderate.
That's real chilly. All right, Chris, thank you. Coming up tonight on Nightside, in the second of 2 debates taking place at Gonzaga today, candidates for 5th District Representative Carmela Conroy and Michael Baumgartner are at the podiums right now. We'll highlight what issues they talked about tonight on Nightside at 11 o'clock. Thanks so much for being with us. We'll see you later tonight.